Hi guys, it's Sourdough Kathy here, and I decided today to take a peek at the European night crawlers in my Vermibag, and I'm going to attempt to look underneath the bag and see what's happening down below. So I'm going to try and do a little harvest just to see what's going on. So I'm going to open this up and we'll take a quick peek. I want to totally apologize for not having any videos up. I know I promised I would. This month's been really bad for me. I've been in mega pain, and I just found out yesterday I'm going to have both of my knees replaced soon. So anyway, let me get to this and I can chat about that later. Anyway, we're I think you can see that pretty well in there. Maybe I could zoom in a bit and you can see a little bit better. And I'll pull you down just a little bit. No, I guess I can't. Oh well, that'll be good enough, I guess. Okay, so I've got some mango pits in here. These worms are just eating through everything I put in here. There are lots of young ones, there's lots of big ones. They're just, it's nuts. It really is. I never expected it to do this well. And yet you can see how light and fluffy everything is. There's lots of, it's not real wet. It's got a little stuff sticking to me, but that's because the mango pits are juicy. And here's a nice little clump. Because we all love our worm balls. And this seems to be doing really well. Now, it's been rather dry here. We've had the strangest winter on record, and because of that, I've had to actually water this. So I'm kind of wondering what it's going to be like underneath, because I've wanted to keep the worms up above. So that when I did decide to, there are a lot of worms up here. As you can see, there's just masses of worms everywhere. Unfortunately, I have to bring them to you because this only goes out so far. But there's a lot of worms in here anyway. And I'll just cover this back up. As you can see, I mean, there's lots of bedding in here, but there's not a ton of bedding in here. I add it when I think it needs it. Like when I have a wet feeding, if I have a lot of wet stuff, I have to be very careful. This is why. Because there are so many newborns in there that, look, I've got one on my thumb here, I think. Can you see that there? Not sure. Let's see. Let me see. There he is, right there. All right, I'm going to pull these little guys off, and then I'm going to shut off and I'm going to get down below, because otherwise you're going to think that something crashed to the ground, and that will have been me, because I am very, very unsteady and in too klutzy a position to let you watch that, so hold on. Okay, so I'm down on the ground, and I think I nearly broke a hip trying to do it, because my knees just don't want to bend. But I am under here, and I'm going to try and unzip this thing. We'll probably get some dry stuff in the beginning. Yeah, I thought so, which is good, because I'll move it aside, because that'll have to go back on top. Looks like some of this will have to go back on top. Looks like almost all of it will. Lots of springtails in this stuff. Boy, the bottom sure doesn't look as black as the top did, that's for sure. But at least this gives me an idea of the fact that it was probably too dry down here. Although I see a couple wormies. Here's one, here's two. I'll just go ahead and throw those little guys right back in while I'm here. As you can see, and I'm sure you can see my hand, there is not much going on there. Now we're getting into some wetter stuff, but still filled with castings, I mean paper and whatnot, and I don't like that. So we'll push this stuff back and try to see what else is there. And if I keep seeing paper, I'm going to call it quits. I found a worm. Another one. I can go back in. And this is wet, moist, but as you can see, it hasn't been eaten very well. There are a few worms, not many. Looks like most of them really did go up to the top. Most of them are up at the top. So, this is a good thing I'm doing this, because I can get it back to where it should be and put this stuff on top so that it gets eaten. Which is really hard to do. When I had my red wigglers in here, I never had this quite a problem getting this stuff out. It must be really packed in there. Even though I was moving it around, I'm having to use my other hand now. As you can see, there's still a lot of paper and whatnot, so this is not going to cut it. And some worms. Put them aside as I see them. So what this tells me is that it was probably too early, a little dry down on the bottom. They were not ready to they keep going to the top because I keep adding new food. And of course, where there's a worm, there's food, because that's what they're there for, to eat the food. So we're just going to call it quits at this point. I just wanted to give you a look-see. I knew that I would have to do this eventually, and so that's it. Now, to go on with my little story, I'm just going to tell you, I have never told people my situation in these videos, but for almost 24 years now, or 24 years ago, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and then because I had spent almost 9 years in the Army, I did a lot of running during the Vietnam era in combat boots, not like they do today. So my knees are shot. I also had a run-in, or let's put it this way, an 18-wheeler had a run-in with me about 2001. And since then, excuse me for the grunting, but I'm trying to reach the zipper. 2001, I had to have cervical surgery because instead of, when I got whiplashed, instead of the bulges going side to side, they squished into the middle and nearly severed my spinal cord. So since that time, I've had 3 surgeries there. I've had a laminectomy on my back, 4 carpal tunnel surgeries. I mean, I've had just about everything you can think of. So I'm not the healthiest person, and I'm kind of getting a little frustrated and depressed right at the moment. So I would appreciate that all my subscribers and friends here would keep me in prayer, because I don't want to miss my summer, because summers here are just so important to us. They're just mean everything to me as a gardener, and I don't want to give up my gardening. And I don't know how long any of this will take to happen. I talked to some lady who actually had both done at one time. She said she got over it in 5 weeks, which I found amazing, but I'm probably 10 years older than her. So anyway, I just really feel bad that I haven't been able to put up videos. I hope you all will understand, and like I said, please keep me in prayer. And you know that I care about all of you. I love your comments. I love to answer them. I love to just interact with people. And I hope you will continue to do that through videos, or just send me something through the video. Any video. You don't even have to watch it if you don't want to. But for new people watching, I pray that you would just, give me a check or a like or a subscription, and I'll do the best I can to get up some video. I know I can talk about a few other things right now, and I will try and do that along with this video. So, thank you all for watching. Bye-bye now.